Hi, this is Michael Rubin, and we're talking about what notes you can find when you overblow on a C diatonic harmonica. In last lesson, lesson 15, we learned that you always overblow in the same breath direction as the lower of the two pitches between the blow and the draw notes. So in hole number 1 through 6, the blow notes are lower in pitch, so you overblow holes 1 through 6. Holes 7 through 10, the draw notes are lower in pitch, so you overdraw in 7 through 10. And the note that is created when you overblow is always one half step, or one keyboard note, higher than the higher of the two pitches between the blow and the draw notes. So for example, one blow is the note C, and on the keyboard C is to the left of the two black keys. One draw is the note D, which is in the middle of the two black keys. So we're going to overblow in the same breath direction the blow note C. We're going to change the shape of our mouth, and it's going to wind up with a note one half step, or one keyboard note higher than D, D sharp, or E flat. Do, me is how you would sing it in solfege. There it is. Okay? Now, how did I make it easier to overblow? Well, I know two machinery tricks, one of which I don't always do. This is called embossing, and you see I've got a tuning fork here and I've got a reed plate here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little circle at the end of the plate, and I'm going to push it on the reed and push the reed down. Basically, I'm just running the ball down the reed, and what winds up happening is the ball pushes the metal that surrounds the reed on the reed plate closer to the reed, so that there's less of a gap between the sides of the reed and the reed plate, and that helps you to overblow. Then the other thing that I do is I take the reed plate and I take a little screwdriver. Where did my screwdriver go? Here it is. And I find where the rivet is on the harmonica, and on the plate, and I push the reed a little closer to the plate. So, for example, if the gap, the distance between the reed and the reed plate is like this, I make it a little closer like this. And I do that on both the blow and the draw reeds when I want to overblow. I don't always emboss, but unless I can get a nice overblow out of the box, I always gap. That's what the second technique is called. So, let's look at hole number 2. 2 blow is the note E. So here's C, D, E. E is to the right of the two black keys. And 2 draw is the note G in the left middle of the 3 black keys. So I'm going to take that E note and overblow it and make it one half step higher than the G note, G sharp or A flat. Well, don't I already have a G sharp or A flat in 3 draw triple bend? Which is easier, a bend note or an overblow? Well, to me, a bent note. Which sounds nicer, a bent note or an overblow? To me, a bent note. So I've never actually learned to overblow on hole number 2, because it creates a duplicate note. Now some people will learn to do that for tonal effect and also for kind of the physical layout of the harmonica. It may lend itself to some interesting movements. The other thing I could think about is it may make it easier to learn how to do hole number 1 blow, which is notoriously difficult. You know, if you learn 2, that may be easier because it's higher in pitch than 1 blow, but it'll train you to get your 1 blow easier. So that's a possibility. But personally, I've never overblown on hole number 2. Let's look at hole number 3. 3 blow is the note G in the left middle of the 3 black keys, and 3 draw is B to the right of the 3 black keys. When I overblow this G note, I'm going to get one keyboard note higher, one half step higher than B, C to the left of the 2 black keys. So it'll go from G to C, But don't I already have a C on 4 blow? Which is easier, a blow note or an overblow? A blow note. Which is easier? Which sounds nicer, a blow note or an overblow? A blow note. So I never do 3 overblow. It creates a duplicate note, and I just don't mess with it. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that you can, I suggested this in the last video, you can take any overblow and make it not only the overblow note, but you can change the shape of your mouth and kind of bend an overblow higher. Sorry. And some people are very good at this and can get clearly distinctive half steps higher and higher and higher. Some people like really high. And they can use it in a musical fashion. Personally, I like the sound of it for certain tonal effects, so I do it as well. But the reality is, when you go higher, you already have the produced notes somewhere else on the harmonica. For example, one overblow is E flat. If you made it higher, it would go to E. You already have an E on 2 blow. So, kind of like, I don't know if you guys play chromatic, but kind of like bending on a chromatic. You already have the note somewhere else, but tonally, it creates an interesting effect. And so, to me, that's what the purpose is for, not so much for getting the actual note. But if you were to talk to somebody else who's very serious about bending overblows higher in pitch, they may say, no, there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. So, you know, I'm just one man's opinion. Anyway, next time, more overblows. Thanks.